Senator, I know you were at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility last week, and you posted about it, including a meeting you had with a detained woman who I understand has a son who is a United States Marine. And she had been in the U.S. for 2 decades, was babysitting her grandson on her son's base when she was detained. Are you asking or somehow managing to get her to be an exception to the rule to allow her to stay in the United States?
Margaret, I spent about 3 hours or so over at the Eloy Detention Center and met with two women. One was Maria, the one you just mentioned, whose son was a U.S. Marine, whose daughter-in-law was a U.S. Marine. And the daughter-in-law needed to have an operation, so she came from New Jersey. She's lived in the country for 20 years, and then she winds up in CBP custody. I asked her about when her son graduated from boot camp and how that made her felt. And she started crying and said it was so proud. She was so proud that her son was a U.S. Marine. He's about to re-enlist. This woman is no threat to society. I also met a business owner who's been in the United States for over 20 years. She's got 70 employees. She's got 3 restaurants. She's about to open another one. Again, this is a mom. Her daughter's a U.S. citizen. Her mother's a U.S. citizen. Sister's a U.S. citizen. Husband's a U.S. citizen. Neither of these women are a threat to society. And what I saw at Eloy were a lot of moms and grandmothers who could be out with their families, who could be going to work as they go through whatever immigration process they're in. And for Maria, the mom of the Marine, there is a process that for somebody on active duty, that their parents have a process to become a permanent resident and eventually a U.S. citizen. And this is not where we should be. And I don't think this is what the American people wanted. Margaret, the border security issue under President Biden was not working. And I pushed the administration on that. But we have now swung drastically in another direction. And I don't think this is what the American people want either.